Testing, testing, testing. Hello, hello, beautiful people. I'm going to see who jumps in here, and then we're going to go from there. If anybody jumps in here, this is so random. After this, I'm going to hop on the tick of the talk and go live there. But I'm going to see how many people jump in here for this live experience. I'll give it a couple minutes, and then I am going to start. Testing, testing, testing. Hopefully you can hear me clearly. You can. I didn't know I could share a screen. Okay. Matter of fact, this is what I'm going to do. Testing, testing, testing. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Oh yeah, it sounds very clear. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Testing it out on my end. This is my first time ever going live, and I'm wondering if anybody's gonna jump in here. And I wonder what the posting process is like too, actually. Okay, so I'm Dees, and we're gonna dive into the 5 factors to letting go. 5 reasons why we struggle to, and 5 ways to overcome those common struggles that we all face. Typically, it's loss of identity, fear of the unknown, emotional attachment, shame or guilt, and hoping that things will go back to normal. Oftentimes, we deal with some of them or all of them as things that keep us stuck and prevent us from being able to let go of someone that we cared so deeply about. So the goal is to be able to identify those factors, get detailed in it, and then lean towards tools that can get us to the other side of being able to let go. Oftentimes, we feel as though we have to hold on to the person because it's better than not holding on to anything at all. And that's kind of like a story we tell ourselves, whether it's the hate we hold on to, the pain, the story we tell ourselves revolving the heartbreak, or just holding on to the fear of, I don't even know what life is like without this person. So the goal is to be able to identify it, and then from there, overcome it. So without further ado, the 5 factors to letting go. By the end of this video, you will learn the 5 major issues that we face that keep us from being able to let go, as well as the 5 factors that are necessary to enable the process of letting go. So by having this foundation and direction, you will ultimately make room for growth in all areas of your life. Letting go can be the hardest thing, yet it's the right thing to do at the same time. So just so you know, this video is not for people that are trying to win their ex back. It's not for, if you're here to try to be a millionaire, this video is not for you. So please go find another video. I'm not here to help you win your ex back, nor am I here to help you be a millionaire. If you're looking for an easy, quick fix, like a microwave type of lesson, or a microwave type of solution, super easy and simple, this isn't the place for you, because the healing process, the overall journey is long, it's extensive, and it's tedious, but it's always worth it. And things that happen fast often don't last. That's why that simple little dopamine hit, drinking, sleeping around with people, all those other things are so easy to place a Band-Aid over your wound that actually requires stitches. It feels good temporarily. It is a quick fix, but it's not a permanent one. The goal is to be able to move on and get past this. So that being said, if you're here and you think you know it all, you think you already have the answers, and you're like, let me just sit here and see what, how I can challenge this information, or just, I don't even know why I'm here. I already know the answer. If you have that type of attitude, you're not going to get that far in all areas of your life. And I say that kindly because I forgot who said this, but there's a quote that says, the true measurement of intelligence is not a person who knows it all, it's actually a person who recognizes that they don't. So I want us to lean into a sponge absorbing type of atmosphere, to be able to walk into this environment with an open heart, an open soul, an open mind, an open spirit. That's what this is about. So who this video is for, if you're seeking positive change and you're feeling hopeless, this video is for you. If you want to take control of your life because you feel like it's been spiraling for too long and you reached a point where enough is enough, this video is for you. If you feel the pressure of society telling you that you have to have it figured out, right? So you have no one and nowhere to be vulnerable or a safe space to be, this video, as well as the healing community, Pieces to Peace, I highly recommend. There's a 7-day free trial. This video is for you. And lastly, if you want to understand yourself and your emotions better and free yourself from the past, then this video is definitely for you. So let's get into it. Why should I let go, right? In order to let go, to be a happier person, you have to create the life that you deserve, right? You have to learn how to let go of the things that no longer serve you. If the things that you're holding on to are causing you pain or a drain, then you need to either shift your energy elsewhere or completely remove that very thing, person, event, circumstance out of your life. Plain and simple. Easier said than done, of course. Letting go is the natural yet most important part of your life cycle. Whether you need to let go of relationships, friendships, thinking patterns, jobs, the place that you live, or even habits, letting go allows you to create room for new growth, seasons, chapters, and adventures. Only through that growth, that new thing that you allow yourself to experience, will you unlock the magic in your life. And that's how you're able to tap into your true, all-encompassing potential. So I want you to pay attention to your energy when you're around circumstances, people, places, and things, because your energy never lies. Even in your thought patterns, if you're sitting there and you just feel anxious, you feel off, you don't feel like yourself, that's an energy that's draining you, whether you're just focusing on the past or thinking on something that's just sucking the life out of you or causing you pain. Pay attention to your energy level. But if you're sitting there and you feel energized, you feel more free, you feel more at peace, lean more into those things that bring life into you. Find your passion, because our passion lights us up. And the moment that our passion turns into our purpose is a moment we actually end up helping people through our passion. Our passion lights us up. It makes us feel better. It makes us feel more aligned. Our passion turns into our purpose when we take the very thing that lights us up and impact people with it in a positive way. So my goal and what I strongly recommend to you is to look into the things that light you up. Find people that are batteries in your life. There are two types of people in your life: vacuums and batteries. Batteries are the people that you're around. You feel charged up. You feel like you are filled with life. They fill your cup up. You are energized. You are just filled with joy. You feel like they're a shot of espresso, like a cup of coffee. Batteries are the opposite. You're around them, you feel drained. You feel like you need a cup of coffee when you're done talking to these people, when you're done being around them. Pay attention to the energy levels when you're around certain people, around all people. And if those people make you feel less than who you are, then you need to find a way to either shift your energy away from it or completely remove it out of your life, because that's a drain. But the things that light you up, bring you joy, make you feel more aligned, make you feel more like you. Find more circumstances, people, and things that do that for you, that bring out the best that's already in you. Now, how to let go. The ability to let go of someone is an emotional survival tactic. Okay, but how do you do it? That's the question, right? Well, the only way to let go of the person you love, and I'm sure you probably won't like the sound of this. I'm going to let you know. You probably won't like the sound of this. But the only way to let go of the person you love is with love and compassion. Because chances are that relationship caused you a tremendous amount of pain, right? You probably don't like the fact that the relationship was over. It ended in a way that you didn't like, right? You didn't want it to end. But think about it. If you don't let it go with love, what's your other option? If you don't let go of this relationship, circumstances, thing with love, what's your other option? Resentment? Hate? Negative emotions tend to cause us to emotionally clench onto the person. You can't let go of something that you're simultaneously clenching onto. The way to let go is to soften up and to relax. That means captivating and cultivating an attitude of love and compassion towards the person, regardless of the way they treated you, hurt you, or ended things. Because understand that if you're holding on, it's simply because your mind is afraid of not holding on to anything at all. So eventually the journey towards the idea of wishing that person well, wanting them to heal, hoping that they do not suffer, that's the goal. Just as you would want for any other person that you love that's around you, and all living things in general. In Buddhism, they call this a loving kindness meditation. This is not the same as approving what happened. There's a big difference. I want you to differentiate between the two. There's a big difference between approving what happened, but releasing with love and happiness, right? Being happy with it, that's not what this is about. The idea is to completely release yourself from the negative emotions that you may be holding on to about the relationship. It's easy to hold on to hate, as if many of us think it's the better route to go. Oftentimes, not holding on to anything about that person at all actually is more painful. Read that last sentence again. I'm going to read that again, right? It's easy to hold on to hate, as for many of us, it's better than not holding on to anything about that person at all. By the way, this is my free ebook that I have available. You can find it on my social media platforms. It's in my stand store. Go at the very bottom, or just message me on social media on Instagram. The word free, and I automatically send it to you. But this is the free ebook. There's also a 17-minute training video that comes along with the ebook that I dive deeper into this topic and subject and whatnot. I'm just briefly going over it to kind of give you more tools and resources in a live setting that you can, type in the chat, ask questions, engage, so that I can really delve into, the perspective of being able to let go. There's 5 factors why we struggle to let go, and we're diving into it right now. The first one we're talking about is emotional attachment, right? There's an emotional bond that was formed with that person, right? Making it hard to detach. People may struggle to let go because they fear of losing the emotional connection that was initially established with that relationship. Sometimes we get really attached to someone or something, and it's hard to simply just let go. It's actually painful to let go. And at the same time, that person may have been filling a void within us that we failed to fill within ourselves, meaning that we lacked maybe self-love or some form of validation, and being with them actually fulfilled that missing piece. Hence, that emotional attachment. The next one is fear of the unknown, right? The first one that we talked about is emotional attachment. Now it's fear of the unknown. Moving on often means stepping into the unfamiliar, a life before you met that person, which if it was a really long relationship, or maybe the relationship was just so great, when it ends, you don't know what life would look like without them. Or maybe it's just terrifying to simply think about it, right? Which creates this feeling of uncertainty, even anxiety around the idea of moving forward. People may cling to what's familiar even if it no longer serves them, because the fear of what lies ahead and the uncertainty of the future without that person or thing might make us feel sick. And we get stuck holding on to what we know, even if it's not good for us. Even if it's not good for us. Because we're afraid of what might happen next. As human beings, we have this animalistic mentality. Our brains naturally think of trying to figure out when the next threat is going to come. And the unknown is a big threat to us. Even from an emotional level, if we don't know what's to come, our brain spikes to anxiety, spikes into trying to protect us. Although that relationship was painful, although that heartbreak was painful, whether you got cheated on, they left, whatever the circumstances was, you experienced pain. But guess what? Your brain says, we survived it though. Which means we can hold on to that. We can experience that all over again. We can run back to that because we know for certain, at the very least, we can survive it. That's why sometimes we end up in those spinning thought cycles over and over and over and over and over again, thinking, spiraling, because our brain is literally trying to protect us, but also reliving at a point that we survived. So our brain knows, hey, although it was painful, we survived it. So we just care about your safety at this point. That's it. We just simply care about your safety. So fear of the unknown. First one was emotional attachment. Second, fear of the unknown. Now, guilt and regret. Oh, the amount of clients that I have worked with one-on-one that have carried this level of guilt, carried this burden that was never theirs to carry in the first place. They felt like they could have done more. They felt like they should have done more. They felt like if they go back and get another chance, maybe if. No, that's just a story they're telling themselves that's keeping them stuck. Sometimes individuals find it difficult to let go because they harbor guilt and regret about the past. They maybe blame themselves or the way they turned out, right? Things turned out, feel like some level of remorse for a decision that they may have made. Hindsight is always 20/20. We are always doing the best we possibly can with what we have. And oftentimes we hold on to that guilt and regret. Maybe I could have done this. Maybe I should have done that. If you only what? Abandoned yourself a little longer just to keep them around? We often abandon ourselves out of the fear of being abandoned by other people. I've been that guy. So we hold on, we harbor this guilt and regret that keeps us from being able to move forward and move on. Emotional attachment was the first thing we talked about. Fear of the unknown is the thing that we talked about. Now it's guilt and regret that we just went through. Next is loss of identity. Because when we entangle ourselves with another person, we have this bond, this love, this amazingness. It's amazing. Don't get me wrong. It's beautiful. It ends up causing us to kind of overlap our personality with this other individual. Relationships and experience can become intertwined with one's sense of self. right? When letting go of individuals, it may cause this struggle of identity, this loss of identity, especially if we defined ourselves with them in the relationship, in the experience. The fear of losing a part of ourselves is one of the most crucial things that can keep us from being able to move forward and move on. When we let go, it can feel like we're losing pieces of ourselves. And this can really be tough to deal with, almost unbearable. But walking away from the relationship doesn't mean you're abandoning the person or abandoning a part of yourselves. You're actually walking back to yourself, because there are pieces of yourself that was rejected that you need to love. There are pieces of yourself that you neglected that you need to refine and rekindle. And lastly, the final factor that keeps us from moving on and moving forward is hoping that things will go back to normal. We hold on to hope for dear life, despite the circumstances, right? Despite how things led and how things happened. Some of us hold on to hope for reconciliation or a return, that things might go back to how they once were. This hope can literally keep us from moving forward, and it forces us to hold on to the past, preventing us from being able to embrace the present as well as moving forward into the future. Even if things didn't work out, right? We might still hold on to the hope that they'll get better, that they'll go back to how they used to be, and hope to make it back to how it used to be. So accepting things for how they are, this hope can make it hard for us to accept things for how they are. So accepting things for how they are is what we're going to start leaning into. These challenges that I just shared with are normal parts of letting go. It's part of the process. And overcoming them often requires time, self-reflection, and support from others. So I do strongly recommend, if you are in a season of healing, to check out the Healing Community. There's a 7-day free trial. Now, the 5 factors to let go. First one is acceptance. Acknowledging the reality. Acceptance doesn't mean that you're okay with how things played out or how things are going. Acceptance simply says, I can't change it. So I have to embrace it. And I don't like how things are going, but what are some steps that I can take right now in this very moment to shift things to go towards the way I want them to go? So that's what acceptance does. It embraces the idea that you can't control and avoid change. It's part of life. It's necessary for growth. Now, next is forgiveness. This factor is absolutely powerful. It frees you. Grace, forgiveness. They say grace and forgiveness is like releasing a prisoner, and you realize that the prisoner was you all along. And if you hold on to the opposite of forgiveness, which is the hate, the resentment, hate and resentment is literally like lighting yourself on fire and expecting the other person to be bothered by the smoke. All right, when I heard that perspective, literally like last month, rocked my world. I've heard of many different perspectives, which I actually share in the ebook, but this one in particular rocked my world. Whether or not forgiving yourself, forgiving others, letting go of resentment and anger is crucial for inner peace. It is by far important, crucial, necessary in order for you to move forward. I want you to recognize that forgiveness is not approving of the other person's actions, the hurt that they cause. It's simply freeing yourself from holding on to them in your life. Now, the third factor to letting go is surrendering, relinquishing control. It's essential for letting go because you have to trust the process of life, having faith in God and circumstances, that things will unfold. What's for you won't miss you. And there's a quote that says, when God calculated your blessings, right? When God wrote down your blessings, he already calculated all of your mistakes. So release the need to analyze every aspect of your life and allow space for opportunities and new beginnings. Zig Ziglar said this quote. He says, if you focus on the problems, then all you will see are problems. But if you focus on the possibilities, then all you will see are opportunities. So surrender. Don't focus on the problems. Find the possibilities that will open the doors to opportunities. Simple shift. They say if you change the things you look at, then the things you look at change. So it's like, imagine if you were able to just change the story you tell yourself about the breakup. You change the story you tell yourself about the pain you're experiencing. It would automatically change your approach and your attitude and the actions you take moving forward. That's why I am such a big believer in the fact that we are one conversation away. We're having that conversation from a shift in perspective, as we are shifting in perspective through this conversation, through this module, through materials, through whatever you expose and digest you in your spirit, in your mind, in your heart, that can lead to decisions, change in decisions because of those change in perspectives from those conversations to a completely different life. It's like the butterfly effect. One little minute conversation or perspective shift shifts your decisions you make moving forward. Maybe you end up not reaching out to them. You end up journaling for once, or you end up praying or going to a church or reaching out to a friend, and you shift in perspective, and those series and compounded decisions that you shift and changes the trajectory of your entire life. And then you heal, and then you free yourself, not overnight, but over time. I know you hear me, but are you listening? So self-reflection is the fourth. So the first, these factors to be able to let go. So the 5 factors we struggle to let go for the people that just came in is emotional attachment, loss of identity, fear of the unknown, shame or guilt, and then hoping that things will go back to normal. 5 common factors that keep us from being able to move forward. Now I'm talking about what's going to help us release and free. Sometimes we struggle with one of those factors or all of those factors or a variation of them. How to let go? Step 1 is accepting. Accepting doesn't mean you're okay with it. It means you understand that there are things in life you can't control, but you focus on what you can, and that's where your power lies. There's a quote by Inky Johnson. He says, when you go into the storm, you won't be the same person you were when you come out of it. That's what the storm is all about. So when things happen to you in life, when you can't control what happens to you, control how you respond to it. That's where your power is. So it's a matter of being able to recognize that you aren't the storm. The storm is not you. You are not your depression. You are not your sadness. You are not your anger. You are not your hatred. You are not that. You're experiencing that. It's passing through. Give yourself permission to experience it. So you are not the storm, but you are feeling the rain. And you trust that above the storm, past these emotions, at your core, you are a good person. You have a kind heart. You can love again. All these circumstances and things. Above those stormy clouds, the sun is still shining. So acceptance, forgiveness, surrender. Number 4 is self-reflection. Being able to reflect, taking time to reflect on the lessons that you learned from the experience. They say healing is not about forgetting about the breakup, forgetting the circumstances. Healing is not about that. Healing is actually about remembering, but with a new perspective. And you get that new shift in perspective through self-reflection. Self-reflection plus solitude produces wisdom. That's what wisdom is all about. That's how you get your wisdom. You enter your season of solitude where you're really self-reflecting, where you're really just, analyzing where things went wrong, how you could have done better, how can you improve the source of the pain, understanding it. You self-reflect in that season of solitude, and then you produce wisdom. Wisdom is the water for your roots to produce your spiritual fruits. So being able to take that time, right? What did that pain, that relationship, the circumstances, you, yourself, life in general, what did all of those variables and those factors teach you? Use that insight to grow, to evolve into a stronger, wiser version of yourself. Remember that every ending is a new beginning in disguise. Number 5, lastly, gratitude is the best attitude. Come on. I'm sure maybe you could have seen it coming. Gratitude is, in fact, the best attitude. Practicing gratitude for the experiences, for the memories, for the lessons gained from what you're letting go of frees you. Even in challenging times, there are blessings that are always there to discover, to uncover. Captivating a mindset of abundance, right? Of appreciation for opportunities that lie ahead. That creates this sensation of peace that exceeds understanding, that exceeds the chaos you're experiencing. That's what they talk about. By expressing gratitude, you shift your focus from loss to possibility, right? From problem to possibility. I do have a free ebook. What just happened? Oh, my camera just froze for a second, but we're back. I do have a free ebook you can check out. I believe the link should be in the description. Yes, I believe the link should be in the description. There's a free ebook, 5 Factors to Letting Go. There's a 17-minute training video where I go deeper into this. This was just like a brief run through in terms of the 5 factors to be able to let go. There's a meditation exercise to help you free yourself and let go. If anybody has, what's up, Waffle Gaming? If anybody has questions, please do not hesitate to ask. But this is all I have for you in terms of being able to let go. I went through those factors, those 5 factors: emotional attachment, loss of identity, shame or guilt, or regret or guilt, hoping that things will go back to normal, and which one did I not say? Fear of the unknown. Fear of the unknown, loss of identity, shame or guilt, emotional attachment, and hoping that things will go back to normal. 5 factors that we hold on to that keep us from being able to move forward and let go. What's up, Mimi? I wonder if I can see who's. I'm not sure if I can see who's in here, but if anybody has any questions, please go ahead and ask. This is like a random me just trying to hop on live here and see what's going on, you know? I have already let go of everything. Not mad. I'm grateful of the whole experience. It's beautiful. That's absolutely beautiful. I love that. And that's the best attitudes to have, to be able to have that gratitude, because that's part of healing. Healing isn't about letting go. Healing isn't about forgetting. It's actually about remembering, but with a new perspective. And that's what I said before. It's a matter of being able to be appreciative of the pain, right? The good, the bad, the ugly, and the beautiful of life. But that's all I really have for you. I'll be on for another minute just to answer any questions that people might want to ask in terms of what you're struggling with. You can share. Tell me, what are you struggling with the most? If you have anything that you do want to talk about in reference to. Talk to me. What are you struggling with? Anybody? If not, it's okay. I'm probably going to hop on TikTok live. I've learned a lot about myself and healing. I love that, Mimi. Love that, Mimi. And you joined the healing community, which I'm so proud of you for that. And there's so many resources in there in terms of classroom section. I'm not sure if you took a gander and checked that out. Letting go of fear of the unknown. Yes, 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 yes. Letting go of fear of the unknown. Yes, I did. Do I need to unload the app for? Oh, so there. Are you saying in terms of what app do you need? There's a free app called Skool, Skool. If you have an Apple, it should be in the Apple Store, and if you have an Android, it'll be in the Android store for the apps. But I'm going to see. It's called Skool Communities. But if you type in Skool, you see it, and then it should look something like this. I'm not sure if that will show up on the camera. It should look something just like that. The blue and orange or purple and red-ish color. That's the free app to download, and then it gives you access. You use the same login that you use to get the free trial, and then you'll be able to literally access it as if it's like Facebook or YouTube or any of the other apps. It makes it very easy to maneuver. Very easy to maneuver. You're welcome. But that's all I have for now. I might hop onto TikTok live around 5, like probably in like 30 minutes. I'm going to go munch a little bit, reset, and recalibrate, and I'll probably hop on TikTok live. I've never done YouTube live, and I just got into the YouTube monetization program, so I was like, let me just try it out and see what this is about. Maybe I'll do more of it. Maybe. We'll see. I know there's an app I can use to kind of stream on all platforms at the same time. I'll try to figure that out. Thank you for your content. You're welcome, Marshall. You're going to get on TikTok because I don't know where you live until late here. Okay. And 26 minutes, I'll be on TikTok. 26 minutes. In 26 minutes, I'll be on TikTok live. But I was just trying out this live on here just to see what it was like, what the vibe is like. Because this was pretty cool. This was very cool, actually. Okay, see you there. See you there. See you later, alligator. All right, I'm off. Peace out.